Then we'll be able to describe the benefits and challenges of mentorship. And then we will take home something. So my presentation is structured along this presentation outline. We'll look at what mentoring is, then what mentoring is not. Because at times we confuse mentoring with so many things, so many other relationships. So we'll look at that. And then we'll look at when, as a church or as an organization, when to consider mentoring. Then after that, we'll look at qualities of a good and effective mentor. We'll watch the videos and then we'll discuss the qualities ourselves. Then we'll look at some benefits of mentorship, challenges of mentorship, experience sharing, and then we'll look at reflections and conclusion. Okay, so as a way of introduction, I'll start with a quote from Richard Branson. A quote from Richard Branson. He says that if you ask any successful business person, they will always say they have had a great mentor at some point along the route. What does this mean? It means that any person, anybody who has been successful, you can cast your mind to the world's great people. Even Trump, I'm sure he had a mentor. And some people say that, well, his wealth, he inherited his wealth. But even that, I'm sure that he mentored his father. So his father mentored him. So at one point in time, he learned something. If you look at Bill Gates, he's a successful business person. And if you have to talk to him, he will tell you something about who actually held his hand to the point where he was successful. So that is from Richard Branson. Then Oprah Winfrey. He says that, I think mentors are important. And I don't think anybody makes it in the world without some form of mentorship. Nobody makes it alone. Nobody has made it alone. And we are all mentors to people, even when we don't know it. And that is Oprah Winfrey. At times you see that you are there, just there. And the way you structure your life, the way you go about doing things, you see that people are watching. Especially if you are a Christian. If you are a Christian, for me, it's not the talk, it's the walk. Whatever you are doing, you have to, or whatever you hear from the Bible, from church, as a Christian, it has to affect you. And the way you do your things actually attracts people. And so at times you don't know that you are a mentor. But then you see that people are watching. Those who admire are looking at you, how successful you are, the way you conduct yourself, and they want to be like you. And for that matter, you are mentoring. And everyone, I tell you, provided you are cultured and you live an admirable life. Most of the time, what happens is that even if you are a bad person, watch a video. Even if you are part of a gang, see that you are a mentor there. People will be watching you, and those who admire you and want the easiest way out of everything will admire you, and you are a mentor. So everyone is a mentor, as Oprah Winfrey is saying, and he says that no one makes it alone. Nobody makes it alone, and nobody has made it all alone. A child, your parents are your mentors, your teachers are your mentors. You don't do it all alone. You need somebody. Somebody is teaching you. Somebody is nurturing you, giving you food and doing all sorts of things. So at the end of the day, you realize that everyone is a mentor, and everyone got to a point where this person is. My son plays piano, and he was part of the keyboard idol thing. When they came home and they asked him, how did you gain interest in? He said, when I went to church, when I go to church, I see Uncle Andy, I see Uncle Cole, they are playing. So I felt like playing. And so I decided to go and practice it. And actually, he's doing it. So Paul didn't know that he was mentoring somebody. Uncle Andy didn't know that he was mentoring anybody. But at the end of the day, the boy has picked on them, and they were learning. So let's look at some brainstorming activity. I want us to discuss who a mentor is from whatever we have talked about so far. So who is a mentor? And who is a mentee? Then I want us to also discuss, have you ever considered someone as your mentor before? Why did you see this person as your mentor? So the first one, what does the word mentoring mean to you? So right now I'm here. I want, this is supposed to be interactive, so yes, you want to talk? Oh, you pick the mic. Who is a mentor? Or mentorship, what does it mean? From what we've discussed so far, yes, sir.
Hello?
Mentorship.
Yes, like someone who is being sent to a tailoring shop or a welder to go and learn. He put all his aim and his mind on whom he is learning the thing from. And he will make sure that he will mentor the person so that he or she may become perfect. Whether you are a seamstress, so that you can sew something which will supervise your mistress. So that's what I say it. Like an apprentice, but he put all his effort in what he's learning from his mentor.
Okay. So in the nutshell, he's saying that mentorship involves two people. One experienced person, who is the seamstress or the tailor or the welder, and then the other one is the apprentice. So we have two people in a relationship, and this relationship involves an experienced person and then a less experienced person. So the less experienced person actually learns from the experienced person. Yes, perfect. Any other? Okay, let's take it like that. In order not for us to waste time, we will take the second one. So who is the mentor in this relationship? Who is the mentor in this relationship? Yes. Oh, I thought you wanted to.
Okay, so the mentor in this relationship is the person that is impacting and guiding the lesser person or the less experienced person. And this impact can be negative or positive.
Okay. Okay, so it's like in our example, the seamstress and the apprentice. The seamstress is the mentor. And then who is the mentee? The mentee is the apprentice. I hope you understand it, so we can move on. Have you ever considered someone as your mentor before? And if you have, why did you see this person as your mentor? Let's all cast our minds back in our lives. Do you understand me? Yes. Let's just reflect on our lives. Do you think you've had a mentor before? Or you have a mentor? You have a mentor, why did you consider this person as your mentor? Hey, Monkasa Kakra. The ladies. You don't want a lawyer for the class. Now every question the lawyer will answer. Every question the lawyer will answer. The lawyer is not, we don't have a lawyer here. So okay.
Okay, so I have had a mentor before. Okay, in my situation, it wasn't a relationship with a person, but I was looking at the person from afar. And the reason why I took this person as my mentor, or these people as my mentor, is because they had some values, or they have achieved certain things that I also want to achieve and even do better than them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's had somebody in life as a mentor before. That he was watching quietly, in silence. Then he said, the way this person behaves, the way this person, the values that this person holds, I wish I were him or her. And because of that, you watch, and then it gives you the encouragement and the inspiration to attain the level that this person has reached. So I know that we all know what mentorship is about. Mentorship, so we are going to define mentoring. So now put the definition I have there for you. So mentoring is a term that is generally used to describe the relationship between a less experienced individual called a mentee and a more experienced individual known as a mentor, regardless of what? Age, gender, title, or position. At times you see that you are older than somebody. But you see that this person, the way the person, I don't know. I'm in academia, and I admire people who write a lot, who can write, do research, and publish. At times you see that there are young ones coming up. They can write. These people, at times you want to associate yourself with them, so they will help you also publish and publish well, regardless of age, regardless of gender. You admire this person because of maybe where I find myself and the need in me, do you understand me, to publish and publish. So it doesn't necessarily mean that your mentor must be older than you. Do you understand me? Or you are a woman, so you have to have a female gender. You are a man, so you have to have a man gender. No. A mentor. No. Do you understand me? Your position may be higher than the position of the mentor, but there is something that you want in life that that person has and you do not have. Do you understand me? And for that matter, the person can become your mentor regardless of age, position, gender, and the rest. Okay? So, in essence, we have talked about all these already. So, a mentor is an experienced person in a particular field who is willing to listen and guide the mentee. That is when the person makes it known to you that I want to be your I want you to be my mentor. What if the person does not make it known to you? The person may be watching and practicing what you are doing. Okay? For a mentee and mentor relationship to thrive and soar to greater heights, some effective mentoring skills must be embraced, even in the face of what? Challenges. So we'll talk about some challenges as well. Therefore, mentoring among the youth should focus on supporting and encouraging the youth to maximize their potential, develop their leadership skills, improve their performance, and become the persons they aspire to be. So, as Oprah Winfrey said, that we are all mentors one way or the other. If we have this in mind, that the youth must be mentored, then we have to help them one way or the other to do what? Improve upon themselves. Learn from us, learn some skills from us, so they can attain the height that they want to attain in life. So let's move on to our next. So there are two main aspects or components of mentoring. The first one is about learning. Mentoring is about learning. And the goal of mentoring is to help whoever the mentee is to learn something. So it will help improve the life of that person. The second aspect is relationship based. It's a relationship. Mentoring is a relationship. And this relationship actually focuses on growing the complex skills such as communication. At times you see that I once was talking to somebody, and usually our parents are our mentors. And apparently this woman doesn't relate well with people. And she has two beautiful daughters. The sad comment I heard from somebody was that, like, who said, or Bonidin, like, Osimisi, who said, who of a pa. Nansu say, Obie na noa. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I attributed it to the mother, the way the mother talks. So we are all mentors. Do you understand me? The way the mother talks. You don't see anything beautiful about the lady anymore. So it helps you to improve upon your communication. And at times, it's only when you accept that there is something wrong with me, and for that matter, this person's is better. Do you understand me? In that area, that you can actually be a mentee to that person, so you can watch. So it helps you improve upon your communication. It helps you to improve upon your leadership skills as well. And then it helps you to grow your knowledge. Because one way or the other, I always say that if I want free knowledge, and I don't want to read before I acquire that knowledge, that is when I go to seminars. That one somebody has prepared already. The person has done everything. So you go and sit there, and then you just get the knowledge just like that. Where you haven't been to, where you haven't worked much, you just get the knowledge just like that. Do you understand me? Cooked for you. So somebody has cooked it, and the person is living the what is cooked. Do you understand me? So you just learn from the person. Do you understand me? So at the end of the day, we must all have mentors. Okay? So usually it's a relationship. So there should be a communication relationship. There should be some rapport. There should be some chemistry. You can't actually mentor somebody you don't actually agree with. Do you understand me? Or you can't learn from somebody you don't agree with. So there should be some chemistry. And this chemistry is very, very important to the success of the relationship. The mentor-mentee relationship. I'll come here very soon because it seems those of you here are trying to. So let's look at my next slide. Relationship between a mentor and mentee continued. I have a diagram there. It says that a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. This person allows you to see the hope. This person helps you to see it. At times, you are not even so sure about yourself, whether you can attain certain heights. Do you understand me? But if you get a good mentor, somebody who has attained the height, then the person can mentor you, lead you to your goal. Do you understand me? So that is on the part of the mentor. And then on the part of the mentee, says that if you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who has been there before. So that is the role of the mentee. You want to do something, you don't know how to do it, you don't know the steps that you can take, follow to reach there. Ask someone who has been there. Do you understand me? So at the end of the day, that person who has been there can lead you, provided the relationship, the chemistry is good. Okay? Because we all have our responsibilities. The mentor may have his responsibility, the mentee must also have his responsibility. So at the end of the day, if the chemistry is good, it leads to successful mentorship. Now let's look at if you have any questions up to this point, what mentoring is all about, the role of the mentor and then the mentee, before we move on to what mentoring is not. Any questions? Or I should finish, then you ask your questions. Okay. What mentoring is not? Mentoring is not giving advice. And it's not giving advice because at times you see that the person giving you advice is not living the talk. When it comes to saying, the person will say so many things. But when it comes to practicing it, then the person is practicing something else. And somebody will say that, listen to what I say, don't watch what I do, or don't do what I do. That person is not a mentor. So mentoring is not giving advice. It is not the mentor's role or duty to prescribe a path forward for the mentee. Most of the time, some people, when they are trying to give you advice and telling you what you should do and what you should not do, they think that they are mentoring you. Mentoring is not like that. First, the mentor must recognize that the mentee's journey is his own journey. And what worked for the mentor may not actually apply to the mentee. What worked for me may not work for you. So you have to find a way, innovative ways of learning as follow this path. We all have our own ways of doing things. If I want to go here, I can pass here, and then come here. Somebody will go round from the back and come here. I can go straight to the place. Do you understand me? So you have your goal, but then the path that we all take to attain our goals may be different. Do you understand? It doesn't mean that if I want to go the straight way, it doesn't mean that somebody going round before coming here is wrong. Do you understand me? So if I'm the mentor, I have to tell you that you have to pass through this route. No, what has worked for you may not work for me. So it's not advice. Secondly, if the mentor gives directive advice to the mentee loses the opportunity to make his own decision. And for that matter, he loses the opportunity to grow and then do what? Develop. Because if I'm leading you and I tell you that you should always take this path, next time when you appear from one direction, you wouldn't know how to get there without me. Do you understand me? So you have to give the mentee the opportunity to also that by all means you have to do this. You have to do A, B, and C to get there. Do you understand me? So mentorship is not giving advice. Number 2, mentoring is not therapy. It's not like you are going to provide healing to somebody. While a good mentor will listen to the mentee without judgment, it's important not to confuse the mentor with a therapist. If somebody is having problems, at times we say that you need a counselor. So you go and sit, maybe you need a clinical psychologist or a counselor. This person will offer what? Therapy, will tell you what to do. We don't have to confuse mentoring with a therapist or therapy. So at times you do it to the extent that you focus on past mistakes and then be trying to correct mistakes here and there. If you are a good mentor, you avoid that, okay? So you don't actually try to focus on the future. You try to focus on the future and not on the past, trying to what? Correct mistakes. So mentoring is not therapy. Thirdly, mentoring is not coaching, though coaching and mentoring may have similar characteristics. But what happens is that if you take a coach, for instance, the coach comes in like the football coach that we have hired. He works for a period. If it works, at times his work is done. But if you take mentoring, it's not like that. Okay, so mentoring and coaching activities may look similar in one way or the other, but coaching relationship is usually different from mentoring relationship. So a coach might be paid directly to do his work. A mentor participates for the welfare of the mentee. So you are not paid for that. Coaching for mentoring. Coaching tends to be more short-term and focused on a particular skills or gap that you think that the person may have. So once that gap is filled, then your work is done. So a mentor and mentee might engage in some coaching activity in the course of professional mentorship, but the overall focus of the relationship is generally much broader, far much broader than what? Than coaching. Coaching may look at a specific gap, okay? But then if you are doing mentoring, then you must know that you are trying to develop the individual to attain a certain height in life, and then the person must become an all-round person. Do you understand me? So when we are looking at mentorship, we look at it with a different lens. So mentoring is not a passing of torch. That is the fourth point on what mentoring is not. The conception of mentoring as a leader choosing and grooming a successor may be subtly harmful. Subtly harmful. It's possible that I choose somebody, I want the person to be my successor. So I want the person to follow my path. But then, if the focus is just that, and not for the development, the personal development of that person, then it can be harmful. Do you understand me? You have a purpose, and the purpose actually is set by the mentor. Do you understand me? And that can be harmful. If the person is not attaining it, then you think the person is a failure. Is that not it? Yes. And the mentee becomes a passive recipient of gifts, in quotes, of the mentor. And the mentor unnecessarily becomes the center of the relationship, because I chose you. I want you to become my successor. So you have to work the way I do. You have to behave the way I do. You have to attract customers the way I do. And then I become the center because you are learning from me and you have to attain my heights by all means. The focus must be on the mentee, to develop the mentee personally and not for a specific purpose for the benefit of the mentor. In true mentoring, The relationship is much more driven by the mentee. So the apprentice is very, very important. Okay? The apprentice is very, very important. And the mentee's development and growth is at the forefront or the center of the relationship. And that is what I want us to focus on. Okay? If you are a mentor, mentoring somebody, the mentee must be the center of the relationship. Okay? Experience, you have attained a certain height, so you must hold the hand of the mentee. Do you understand me? And most of the time, in that relationship, it's the mentee that chooses the mentor. It's not the mentor that chooses the mentee. Do you understand me? Yes. So now in our daily lives and in our working life, our career life and all that, you realize that an organization or institution or as a person, an individual will actually consider mentoring somebody or consider mentoring when they want to develop leaders or talent pool as part of succession planning. But then I said the focus must be the what? The mentee, but not on the objective of the organization. You also develop diverse, when you also decide to consider mentoring, when you want to develop diverse employees or themselves to remove barriers that hinder their success. You are in an organization. That organization is not doing so well because you have some barriers. Okay, there are people who cannot communicate well, there are people who do not have emotional intelligence, and for that matter, they don't talk well to people and all that. You would want to have somebody who is well behaved at the forefront, so this person can attract customers. Do you understand me? At the end of the day, everyone wants to have success in whatever career that you are. So naturally, you see that people will choose you as a mentor, and then you can mentor them so the organization can thrive. And then more thoroughly, people actually want to consider mentoring so they can develop employees or they can develop themselves in ways that are additional to the acquisition of specific skills and what? Competencies. So if I don't have IT skills and somebody is very good, when the person is working, I can be part of it, watch, learn, ask questions and all that. Do you understand me? And then you are also developing yourself as and as Christians, most of the time, we want to have good mentors. So at times, we consider people who are living. And in academia, for instance, if you are a professor and you are retiring, they don't just leave you to go. You can stay on up to age 70 with the hope that you will be mentoring your junior faculty so they can also, and then even students, assist them through their work. So again, you also consider mentoring when you want to create a workforce that balances professional and personal development and fulfillment. So you see that at times when you do something, you do it and you do it well, you have the satisfaction within you. Do you understand me? That work is fulfilling. You have done something good. I remember I worked with World Vision Ghana. And the national director at the time was all the time saying that when you go out there to the needy and then we provide them with water, we give them employable skills and we do train them and do it. When he comes back, he will say, this work is so fulfilling. Do you understand me? So because he's seeing to the needs of people and helping them through life. Do you understand me? He didn't say he was a mentor, but he was actually a mentor. So you go there, people see you and the way you work, and you see people coming to you, and some of them are admiring you, the way, the goals you have actually set for yourself, going through, you let them know, and then they also come to you for advice and all that. Though you provide advice, you don't expect them to be taking your advice as a mentor. But then they have to work around it so they can actually attain their goals in life. Okay, let's look at qualities of a good mentor. So we are going to watch the videos, and after we have watched the videos, we will discuss the qualities of a good and effective mentor. So let's watch
This week, I got to have dinner with one of my mentors, and in this one
When we
particular
finish,
dinner,
it's not
within
too
less
long,
than an hour, my mentor
then
helped
we
me
can
get
watch it
clarity
again. Is
on
the
an
sound
issue that I
coming?
just kind of been vacillating about. It gave me one tip that will save me hours, maybe weeks worth of effort, just help catapult me forward past a sticking point. And he actually built a lot of confidence in an area that I had been struggling and not feeling very confident. And that's how powerful. So I was really blessed earlier this week. I got to have dinner with one of my mentors, and in this one particular dinner, within less than an hour, my mentor helped me get clarity on an issue that I just kind of been vacillating about. It gave me one tip that will save me hours, maybe weeks worth of effort, just help catapult me forward past a sticking point. And he actually built a lot of confidence in an area that I had been struggling and not feeling very confident. And that's how powerful a mentor can be. So if you are a mentor to anyone, as you should be, everybody has something to learn and everybody also has something to share. And if you're a leader in a business, then one of your primary jobs is to mentor the people on your team, the people who work for you. So I wanted to share 3 characteristics that I have identified of what makes a great, really profound mentor relationship. Here's the first character trait that I've observed. My mentor's vision for himself is always growing. Despite the fact that he's light years ahead of me in many, many regards, he's always talking about what's next. There's always a bigger vision, another level plateau. But it's not in a frenetic, like a can't stop. There's nothing stressful about it. It's a very calm, it's controlled, and it's inspired. It's led from a place of inspiration and of being driven just to accomplish what he knows he's capable of accomplishing. And I find that really, really inspiring, that there's never a point in time that we're done growing as human beings, personally or professionally, spiritually, or in any other way. The second character trait that I've noticed is there's no ego. And there could be, some people they have good reason to be proud or to maybe have a sense of arrogance about them, but there's not. A good mentor is very, very quick to share mistakes that they've made, but there's no shame around it and there's no arrogance in needing to cover them up, because what they really value is the lesson. They know that mistake, if they learn from it and they apply from it, is what enabled them to get beyond it to take the next level in their business or in their life. So the ego gets checked at the door. They're very transparent about what they've done right, what they've done wrong, and willing to share so that other people can learn from their experiences. Here's a third character trait. The conversation is always about the other person. Even if it's through the context of the mentor sharing his or her own experiences to help someone, it's always through the lens of how they can support the person that they're mentoring. And every conversation I have this one particular mentor, always, without question, he says, "How can I help you, Carrie?" And then he pauses and listens because he actually wants to know. And if I can put together an intelligent answer, then he actually does help with it. So mentor is just very sincere and always takes the time, even though you might be busy, but at that moment in time, they make the mentee feel like they are their number one priority because they truly are. They're present and they genuinely care. So if you can incorporate these 3 character traits to help some of your team members grow, for both their benefit as well as that of your company. So thanks for watching. And by the way, if you can think of any other character traits that your mentors have exhibited for you, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear. Thanks.
If it wasn't for good mentors, I wouldn't be in front of you today. I might instead have been in jail or possibly dead. Good mentors, you ask? Yes, good mentors. But I didn't always have good people in my corner. I had some bad mentors along the way, and they led me down the wrong path, to the point where I almost dropped out of school and resorted to gang activity and all sorts of other negative behavior. You see, whether you know it or not, good or bad, someone is mentoring the children in our communities. What are bad mentors? Bad mentors are the people in your child's life that have the most influence on them and steer them to do the things that go against what they were taught at home and at school. Did I mention they have a lot of influence on them? Bad mentors make the world go round for these kids. Children may look up to them, or even worse, that may be controlled without even knowing that they're being manipulated. Does this ring a bell? As for me, how do I know the difference? My first mentor was a good one. My grandfather, may he rest in peace. He raised me in Panama. He was a family man, an entrepreneur, and instilled the value of hard work in me. However, my family taught that there was more opportunity in America, so we left Panama when I was a kid, and I left him behind as well. I was being raised by the women in my family, but while they were out working to make ends meet, I spent a lot of time with the guys in my neighborhood. That's when I got introduced to what I call the bad mentors. Because of their influence, I went from a straight A student to not going to school at all. I went from a scholar to a gang member. Does that ring a bell to you? So, how does this relate to you? If you live in inner city, our children may be exposed to violence and drugs. As a result, our children take on those traits and become a true product of their environment. You see it all the time on the TV and in the media. You can't scroll through your phone or turn on your TV and not see things going on with our middle-aged school kids being involved in things such as shootings or getting caught with drugs, both to consume or to sell or distribute. Where do you think that comes from? I know firsthand growing up in inner city that it can be easier to get a gun than it is to get a book sometimes. The bad mentors appear to have all the things a kid could ever want. All the material things, the social status, and the freedom we all want. They do anything to get in their circle because why? That made them appear to be cool too. However, they don't tell you that being cool like them comes at a price and that you have to do things that go way beyond what you thought you needed to do to remain in their good graces. I remember being in middle school and high school being forced to fight rival gang members, and you know what? Eventually, it became the norm, and I did it on my own. What about our young ladies? The ones that stray away and end up in the hands of the bad guys. They get around to committing crimes themselves or even do anything for attention. I know you hear stories about them all the time. What if you stepped in and were able to impact them early on? And we can't forget about suburban America. How many of our children and loved ones have we had to bury or send to rehab due to drug addiction and overdose? How many families have been destroyed due to drug addiction and adolescents' alcohol abuse? I'm not just talking about the troubled kids either. We're losing top scholars and athletes to problems that come with having bad mentors. So parents and guardians, no matter what type of kid you have in your home, they are all prone to being affected in some way. What about you that has no kids? Well, the bad mentors, they shape and guide the kids in your community. As a result, that impacts your way of life. Don't you want to feel safe where you live, where you work, and where you go out for recreational appearances? We're all affected by this, whether we're parents or not, whether we live in a rural, suburban area, or in a city, we all have to tackle this issue. Luckily for me, I was expanding and needed some help. He hired me, and he didn't know this at the time, but he'll go on to be a good mentor to me. I was still involved with my bad mentors at the time, but I spent way more time with David than I did with them, so the way I looked at life started to change. He never tried to tell me what to do. He simply took a chance on me and showed me what it was like to be around good people that lived a good life. I also met a guy by the name of William Barnes. William happened to be the president of the Birmingham Urban League Young Professionals at the time. Everybody tried to tell me to join his organization, but I was always against it. But then I started doing some research, and I saw that all the pretty and single young professional women were involved. I signed up immediately. Shortly after joining, William asked me if I wanted to take on a leadership position within the organization. The word leader in my name had never been in the same sentence in a positive way prior to that. The only thing I wanted to be a leader in was my gang. So I said all that to say that good mentors make the world of difference once they're frequently and consistently involved in the lives of those who need the most training and advising. The problem is there aren't enough of them. Mentoring.org states that those who are at risk of falling off track and had a mentor are 130% more likely to hold leadership positions. Would you rather them hold a leadership position in something positive or in my case, be a high-ranking gang member or drug dealer. We all have to tackle this issue because we're all affected by it. We need more mentors in a positive way in our communities, in our schools, and in the media, because our children are being raised and advised by the bad mentors in mass quantities. So ask yourself, how involved are you in shaping the world around you through our future leaders? How can you be a good mentor? We all live busy lives, but if we don't have an influx of good mentors today, the things they continue to see on TV, their peer group, and those they look up to will continue to train and advise them down the wrong path. And that, in turn, devalues the world around all of us. Thank you.
Me. And he said that in America, he grew from a first class student to what? To not going to school at all. Because of what? The mentors are around him. He became a gang member, doing all sorts of evil things. And then he found a mentor. That person just called him, I want to work with you. He gave him a place to stay. Do you understand me? He didn't tell him to change his ways. He was only watching. If they are going, let's go. and they will go to church, they will go to good places. At the end of the day, he was converted, and he stopped all his gang activities and became a better person. And he was telling, this is a TED Talk. Most of the time, TED Talks are very good, so you watch them. So I have some 10 qualities of a great mentor. And if you throw it on the screen, I don't know how many of you can see it and read. But then the first one, number one, he says that a great mentor does what? Challenges you. He will bring the good out of you. So a great mentor will challenge you. A great mentor always pushes you to be better and never let you rest on your laurels. So this person will bring the best out of you. He will always push you to work hard. Work hard. Number two, a great mentor is experienced. This person has what? Experience, and can lead you through. Share his experience with you and lead you through. The third quality is a great mentor is where you want to be. This person, it's me. If you want to be like me, you want to be me. Do you understand me? So you work around to become me. Do you understand me? And this person will help you do that. Number four, your great mentor will support you, is a great listener, will listen to you before he judges you. He won't judge. A great mentor is vested in your success. Your success is very, very important to this person. He guides you toward the answer. He doesn't spoon feed you with the answer, but will guide you around so you find the correct answer. Do you understand me? And then a great mentor provides constructive feedback. Most of the time, some people, if you are, because they want to be like they are better than you, you will see that they will always bring you down, especially when they see that you are doing better than them. They will bring you down. This person is not a great mentor. And a great mentor respects you and is always available. At least you can find this person. And if you are a mentee, we'll look at some of the challenges of mentorship. So let's look at benefits of mentorship. And here I will ask you to list the benefits of mentorship from the perspectives of the mentee. If you are a mentee, how do you benefit from mentorship? What are some of the advantages that you can gain from mentorship? If you have a correct person that is mentoring you, yes.
You are able to discover your abilities and then your giftings, and then you put them to work.
Yes. You are able to discover your abilities, what you can do. So the hope in you is unveiled. You can set goals and then work towards your goals. Okay? Any other? Any other? Look at the qualities of a good mentor. And if you want to be, if you are a mentee, all these benefits you also become, because you also become a mentor. Do you understand me? Yes, you want to add one more. Okay, when you finish.
Yes. So from the first video, the lady indicated that she was able to discover or achieve something quicker than if she didn't have mentoring. Yeah.
So if you have a goal that you want to attain, doing it all by yourself, according to Oprah Winfrey and the quote, is impossible. Do you understand me? Somebody, you haven't been there before. So ask somebody who has been there before. And so you attain your goals quicker in life. Do you understand me if you are a mentee? So any other benefits?
It saves you from making too many mistakes because you have somebody before you learn from.
So your mistakes are minimized. Okay? You have somebody guiding you. You can think about so many of them. Any other? Any other? At least, for me, if you have a good mentor, automatically your future is even bright. Do you understand me? You want to do something and you have somebody who is willing to help you do it. Eh? And if you get a good mentor, the benefits are numerous. You yourself, you will become a mentor and mentor other people. Do you understand me? So it's very, very important. And then from the perspectives of the mentor or leader, what do you think if you are a mentor? What are some of the benefits if you yourself are a mentor? Yes. You are able to explore many things.
You are able to explore many things because your mentee might be able to know certain things that you, the mentor, you don't know. So the mentor, it gives the mentor an opportunity to explore other fields in life.
So it broadens your perspective. Yes. You gain a sense of fulfillment. I've been able to do this. At the end of the day, if you look at the students you have supervised and where they are, do you understand me? The kind of work they are doing, they come back to you with smiles. Your life, you have some satisfaction. Do you understand me? Any other? It keeps you on check. You yourself, you know that people are watching. You must live the talk. Do you understand me? At times you don't even have to talk. It keeps you on check. The way when when you are put at the forefront of a program where you have to be the coordinator of the program, one way or the other, if your customer service skills are not good, you won't be able to do it and do it well. You see that people will not come for the, because when they come, they relate to you and they go back. They don't even want to offer the program. They want to go and do another program altogether. You are not a good mentor. Do you understand me? But if you are a good mentor, it keeps you, it has to keep you in check. This thing that I'm doing, I'm supposed to attract people towards me. Do you understand me? So if you are not doing it, so it keeps you in check. She is very right. Any other? Okay, so from the importance of youth mentorship, usually if you are a mentor, it helps you to become a more effective listener. At times, some of us, when we started, when somebody is talking, you will even wait for the person to finish. You can say that, well, I know what the person is going to say and all that. But if you are able to develop listening skills, and you can do that if you are a mentor, do you understand me? You would want to listen to people, enter into their minds, know where they are coming from. Do you understand me? So you can assist them. And it helps you to actually gain emotional skills. Okay? It helps you to empathize. Do you understand me? You can put yourself in other people's shoes. And if you have emotional intelligence, you realize that people gain trust in you as a mentor. And if you earn trust, most of the time, if you are a leader or you want to aspire to a certain height, you must have followers who actually have trust in you, because trust is actually your leadership currency. And if you lose it, you must know that you are bankrupt. You will go bankrupt. Do you understand me? So at the end of the day, you see that if you are a mentor, it helps you to communicate better. You can listen. You can provide. Even if something is coming out of your mouth, you have thought about it. Do you understand me? How is it going to, what I'm going to say, how is it going to affect this person? Is it going to have a positive impact or negative impact? It helps you to empathize and have emotional intelligence and gain trust. Do you understand me as a mentor? And then again, it also broadens your perspective. You can have several ways of viewing things. because you deal with so many people. Do you understand me? So at the end of the day, you are not put in a box where your thinking is just around one thing. You have shared experiences from several sources, and so at the end of the day, it broadens your perspective. So if you are taking a decision, for instance, or you know that there are other things in existence apart from what you know, when you were being brought up, you were being brought up maybe in the central region, do you understand me? People go to fish there. Now you know that there are other people who come from the hinterlands, and then they only know how to farm. They don't know how to fish. Do you understand me? There are people from the north. Do you understand me? And they have their own way of behaving. You appreciate several cultures, the kind of food they eat. So if you don't eat it, you don't condemn it, because they've been cultured with it. Do you understand me? So it broadens your perspective, so you understand so many things in life. Do you understand me? If you are a mentor. And then it also sharpens your storytelling abilities. And if you know how to tell stories, where to start from and how to end it, you see that people even admire you. I like even the asofos, the asofo, when an asofo comes into the pulpit and is preaching, some of them will start with a story. Do you understand me? The story may be their own personal story, or it may be a story. At times they will tell it in a way that you won't even know that it's from them. But when they finish and they are zooming into the lessons, then you realize that this is the person. Do you understand me? Or they start from somewhere and they put your mind wondering. Do you understand me? They will share experiences, and the way they have it in every situation. They have a way of going about the same story and telling it to make an impact. Do you understand me? And if you are that, you see that you attract people to yourself. Do you understand me? It tells people that you are intelligent, you know how to do it. So it sharpens your storytelling abilities, because as a mentor, you will have to tell a lot of stories. Sharing experiences, telling a lot of life experiences. I remember a friend of mine was telling me something. She says she usually teaches policemen and sojamen. And one day in a class, like the class, she didn't know how many of them were policemen, how many of them were sojamen. So she said that how many of you as policemen, they were not owning up? How many of them as sojamen, they were not owning up? And he said, I want to tell you a story. And so I want to, after the story, you will pick something out of it. And then she said, should I say it? The policeman, should I? Yeah, Madam, say it. Madam, say it. So she started. He said that there were two boys in the same class. Anytime there is an examination, the policeman's son will either, if they are 40 in the class, the policeman's son, when he is 39th in the class, the sojaman's son is 40th in the class. They are always at the tail end of the class when it comes to academic work. Then gradually, the sojaman's son was climbing up. By the time the policeman's son realized, the sojaman's son was first, and he was still at the tail end, 40th position. So the policeman's son went straight to the sojaman's son and asked him, what did you do? Because for you, I know that you are my companion down there. But I realized that you have climbed up, now you are first. What did you do? And he said, let me tell you my story. When I'm last or 39th, and I go home with my report card, my father will take it and beat me. So I'll be learning. When I go home, I'll learn. That is how come. Then the policeman's son said, oh, is that so? As for me, my father, when I'm giving him my report card, I put 1 CD in it. When I put 1 CD in it, he takes it. When he opens it and sees the 1 CD, all he says is, don't do that again. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. So my father has nurtured me to be down there. Do you understand me? So, you know, you have a way of going about it, and then all the policemen will say, hey, madam, so you are saying that as for us, we take bribes, we take bribe from our own children. Even at the detriment of our children, we are taking bribes. So it sharpens your storytelling abilities, and you see, when she does that, you see that the class, everybody will say, hey, and when she goes to the class the next time, madam, today what story do you have to tell us? Do you understand me? So people really admire you for your ability to tell stories. Now let's look at mentorship challenges. The first one, I'll quickly go through this because I want us to get done. The first one is access to mentors. If someone is your mentor, this evening, for instance, I have a small girl who wants to visit me in my home. She was calling, I was here, so I just picked the call and I told her that, Edewa, I'll call you, I'm in a meeting. Do you understand me? If you don't take care, this person is mentoring you. The person will think that you don't have time for. It's not like that. We must know as mentees, we must know that your mentor has his own life. Family life, social life, and everything. Apart from you fitting into it. Do you understand me? So you must find alternative ways of getting through to your mentor and getting his or her attention. Do you understand me? If you need something, so you don't say that, oh, my mentor doesn't have time for me and all that. So you must try. As for mentors too, we'll try and say that if you are a good mentor, you must have time. At least make some time so you are accessible to your mentees. The second one is too high expectation on the part of the mentee. At times, when people are mentoring their mentees, they think that as soon as we start a mentoring relationship, everything must be fine. I should be able to behave the way she is behaving. It's not like that. Behavior change takes a lot of time. It takes a very long time. And again, what you have been cultured with, very difficult to unlearn. That is your behavior. You can just see somebody who is a womanizer, and this person has become a Christian, trying to live a life of one man, one woman life. Do you understand me? Watching the Asophos, hey, how can they stay with one woman? Do you understand me? I want to do the same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why are there na be a part of you? Changing is difficult. Do you understand me? And it takes a very long time. Changing your mindset about the situation and everything. So you don't think that once I'm Osopho's friend, I should be able to. And if Osopho is not able to change me for me to become like him, then Osopho is a failure. Do you understand me? We must recognize that as mentees, we learn gradually. Do you understand me? It doesn't happen one day. The third one is following through with instructions. I supervise students' work. At times, if it's a PhD work, I will say that, well, PhD is your work. You are the philosopher there. It's your specialty area. So if you bring me your work and I have questions, or I tell you something, I don't actually expect you to take whatever I tell you. Do you understand me? But then, if what I tell you is not what you are doing, or what you intend to do, or that is not what you mean by what you've written, you should convince me, buy me into whatever you want me to. Do you understand me? And once I'm satisfied with your explanation, I'm fine. Otherwise, I will give you instruction that this is not the way you should go about it. Do you understand me? Go back, think through. If you think what I'm telling you is not the way you want to go about, come and convince me. But then, you write something, I have questions about it. We talk about it. I ask you to maybe consider changing it. Do you understand me? And then it's like, the next time you come back, the same thing is there. Do you understand me? You are not changing it. You are not convincing me for me to also understand that what you are saying is the right thing. You see that you make your mentor angry. So if you are not able to actually follow through with certain minimum instructions, or you are not able to explain and you come back at the same level, you are not going forward. Do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you must at least try and follow through with some instructions as to, it's not a master-servant relationship. So you can talk to your mentor. Do you understand me? If you don't want to take that instruction, politely say that, well, this is not the way I want it. And I'll tell you something. When I was doing my PhD, I was trying to look at some statistical relationship between two things. My supervisor, who is a statistician, said, no, you should use this test, t-test. Then I said, well, I think that contingency table is okay. Then he drew something for me. When I went, I sat down. He is looking at it in the opposite direction. So I went back the following day. And I said, this is not what I'm doing. Mine is from here to here. And yours is from here to here. So I think that mine is right. He looked at me and smiled. He said, go away, go away. You see? And he was convinced. He didn't talk about my statistical test any longer. And allowed me to use whatever I wanted to. Do you understand me? So at times they give you instruction. If you are not going to do it or you are not convinced, go back, convince the person that what you are doing is right. Do you understand me? But if you leave it like that, without any, and then you don't do it, how do you move forward? You must know that you are a learner. Do you understand me? So you must try and follow through instruction if you are a mentee. Number 4, perspective and value. If your perspectives are different, your values are different from the values and perspectives of your mentor, the relationship cannot go on. Do you understand me? You must actually align your perspective and your values. So if you are a Christian, you don't go for someone who is a non-Christian mentor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your values must be similar. Or you must try and buy into the, because that is what you admire. Is that not it? You must actually put yourself into the perspectives of your mentor. If you can't align your perspectives and your values with that of your mentor, forget it. The relationship will not thrive. Do you understand me? And then the last but not the least is understanding the purpose of mentoring. Mentoring is not having maybe financial satisfaction. You don't expect that your mentor will buy food for you, your mentor will finance your education, your mentor will take on the role of your caregiver, or will be your godfather, or do you understand me? So the expectations, the relationship must have its own level, and the expectations of going further than the mentoring relationship actually doesn't help. Because if you expect certain things, my mentor has seen that I'm hungry and she's not giving me food. No. Do you understand me? My mentor sees that I need a calculator. She's not buying me a calculator. You are vexed. That is not the relationship. The relationship is not about that. Do you understand me? So you must actually have your expectations right and know the relationship. We've talked about the relationship, what it is and what it's not. Okay? At this point, I will ask that we share some experiences. If you don't have any experiences for us to share, I don't know, any experience, if you have tried to be a mentee to somebody and the relationship actually led you to a higher level, you can tell us. If the relationship didn't work, why didn't it work? Do you understand me? Then you see that all that we have discussed, we are putting them into the right perspective. Young man, you don't have anything. Yes? If you don't have one, I'll tell you. I had 4 supervisors. 2 females and 1 male. My first supervisor was a female. Second supervisor, a female. Third and fourth, males. And my first supervisor, apparently, I admired her so much. Like a rubber complete. She will look at your work, make notes, and then give you feedback. The second one, when she writes something in the work, contextualize it. She won't suggest anything. So you don't know what it means. Whether the conceptualization, contextualization is relating it to the practical or putting it in Ghana context, or I don't know. Do you understand me? So you don't understand. The third one will give you something, and then he will stimulate you. If he says something, you go back to him and he's convinced, like he is the statistician. The fourth one will read the work, and all you see in his face is, I'm impressed. Do you understand me? I'm impressed. So he will call you to go to his class, research methods class, and give them a lecture on how to conduct research because of the way you have put down some of these things. And you feel so good that he has some belief and trust in you that you are doing the right thing. Then it got to a point where you think that everything is done. The first one is so happy. Let me sign. She will wipe. Let me go inside in her home. Let me go inside, wash my hands. Hey, let me give you. Then the way she will behave. Then sign the work nicely. The second one will tell you, don't bind it. I'm in the north. When you come down, when I come down, I will look at it. And then the third one, give me 1 day. I want to look at the chapter 3 thoroughly. Then I'll sign. Okay? The fourth one, bring it. Then he will sign. So I went and discussed it all with the first one. And the first one said, what is wrong with this lady? Because I admired all of them. Apparently, the 2 middle ones, 1 male, 1 female, they are professors. The first one was not even a professor. The last one too was not a professor. Then, what is wrong? The deadline is approaching, fast approaching. So the first one told me, bind it, bring it, everything, she will sign. I took it to the second one, the third one, she signed. The fourth one, he signed. The fourth one, he signed. And they were heavy, about 4 copies. So I put them in a box and then climbed up to the second one's. Before then, do you know what I did? I removed her name from number 2 to number 4. Yes, because she hasn't helped me much. And she was putting impediments in my way. Do you understand me? If the deadline passes, I have to ask for extension. I wasn't paying school fees. My dean says that if you ask for extension, you will pay fees. And look at what you are doing. 3 against 1. I removed her name from it. I had that courage just to remove because I had the support of the first one and the rest. So I removed her name. Bound the thing. They all signed. I put it, when I went, she wasn't there. The secretary was there. I gave it to the secretary. So the secretary took the box. Then the following day, I went. When I went, the secretary, as soon as the secretary saw me, I don't know what went on before in my absence. Secretary lifted my box and then gave it to me. I was so afraid to open it there. So I descended the staircase, 2 stairs, and then I put them down, and then picked one and opened. She had signed. Then I ran. Do you understand me? So it's like people are meant, you see them as your mentors. They are helping you through something, so you can also be successful in academia. Do you understand me? The behavior, actually, the first one I didn't, and she's still my friend. Every morning she will send me some messages. At times I wait at the end of the week, then I'll add them all and say thank you. Then from time to time I'll visit her. She's an old lady. She retired before I finished, but she continued to supervise my work. So I'll go there. When you go there, now she's moved from doctor this to auntie this. Do you understand me? So you see that it's a long time relationship. You admire her, the way she went about it. When she's in pain, you feel so bad. Do you understand me? Like you love her and you want to behave like her. Her temperaments are good. You love it. You love the temperament. Do you understand me? And the other one too, whenever they mention her name, I say, "This, hey, is she your supervisor?" Then you must be very careful. Do you understand me? She's someone you wouldn't want to be your mentor. Though she's attained high level, she's a professor, she's also retired though, but she's still in service and all that. Do you understand me? So it's the relationship. Some will help you through. And it's like, if you see that this person is helping you through in the calm, egoless manner, you tend to develop a relationship. I'm not expecting them to give me money, fund my projects, or do. All I want is the encouragement. They are there. Do you understand me? How do I also get there? Are they helping you positively? If you think the impact is not good, you have to withdraw and then look elsewhere. Do you understand me? And you must now, even if you didn't know the details of how the relationship should be, at least now you know it. Okay? Now let's share some last thoughts. Because you didn't give me any experience sharing, we will look at some reflections. I would be grateful if that is thrown. It is said that Socrates mentored Plato. Socrates, he mentored Plato. Plato mentored Aristotle. Aristotle mentored Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great almost conquered the whole world. Do you understand me? What does this mean? It tells us how infectious and important good mentoring activities are in someone's life's journey. You do it, it's infectious. If it's good, other people also learn and it continues. Is that not it? Yes. It also tells us that mentoring is training or discipling others. That is why Socrates mentored Plato, Plato mentored Aristotle, and Aristotle also mentored Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great conquered the whole world almost. Anyone can be a mentor. That is what it means. You do not need to be perfect to be an effective mentor. You just have to get it into the right perspective. Do you understand me? And you'll be an effective mentor. Mentors teach both skills and character. They teach both skills and character. Skills are taught intentionally. So if I want you to write in a certain manner, if I want you to have computer literacy, I'll teach you the skill. But then, character is what? Is taught unintentionally. So you live it. That is who you are. And those that admire you, you see that they lean toward you. Those that will, at times, some people will seem to be admiring you. But then, when they get to a point, you realize that they are not actually being mentees, but one way or the other, they are becoming competitors. Do you understand me? They are trying to compete with you. Such a mentee is not ready to learn. Do you understand me? They start as if they are mentors, when things are going well, especially there are some people I have encountered, when they start getting money, do you understand me? Oh, then you wonder, is this the same person? This person, I don't know. What is come into this person? If you are a mentee, you must be humble, as far humble as possible, so you don't lose your mentors. Because when they start withdrawing, because they don't want repetitive, unpalatable behaviors from you, you will suffer. You would want to go back to at a point in time, but then your behavior, because of your behavior, they will not be open to you. I'm telling you, it's very, very serious, and it's very, very important that you watch yourself. So if you want to be an effective mentor, look for someone who is ready, willing, and able to grow. So if you want to be an effective mentor, look for a mentee who is willing to what? And is ready to learn, and is able to what? Grow. Do you understand me? So the person, so you look for a faithful, available, teachable person. So you look for a fat person. The person must be faithful, must be available, must be teachable. So you can, your mentorship activity will be successful. Effective mentoring requires a customized growth plan that fits both the mentee and the mentor. So you must have a plan that fits both of you. Both must be on a personal growth program. You want to grow personally, your mentee also wants to grow personally. Do you understand me? So you will be on the same page. When you are mentoring a specific individual, you must follow through 4 processes. The first one is I do the task, you watch, and then learn. The mentor does the task, the mentee watches and learn. Number 2, we do the task together, so we can all be conversant with the task. Number 3, you do the task, that is the mentee does the task, and then the mentor watch and offers what? Feedback. And then you leave the mentee to do the task finally. Do you understand me? So you can actually see that the mentee has attained whatever level that you want him to. To be a good mentor, you must expect results. You don't work and work and work and see you are not getting anything and you are just working and working. The key to exponential growth is to make sure that you do not just mentor anyone at all. I've given you an example. Someone who is not willing to learn, somebody who is not willing to grow, you don't just waste your time mentoring somebody. To grow exponentially, you should make sure you mentor someone who will in turn mentor somebody else. So within the group, you have people who are all growing, and they are all growing together nicely. So as I said earlier on, I said Plato mentored who? Do you understand me? So you keep on mentoring. And then in the church, you mentor and mentor and mentor. So you get the right kind of attitude and character that as a Christian. What is our theme? Living like Jesus Christ. Do you understand me? So that is what we have to do. If you want to be successful, you should be teachable. That is to the mentee. And a lifelong learner. You don't get to a point and say that we all learn. We continue to learn and learn and learn till the day you enter into your grave. Even the 100-year-old is learning in the home. So you continue to learn. You must read good books and listen to good audio. You must read what? Good books. The Bible is a good book. You must read good stories. At times, if you are looking at what the flesh desires, you will look at the video, the TED talk, and you see that the guy, though he had been cultured previously, he was still a child, and he was wooed into the gang group, but then he had a savior. The person didn't talk to him. The person lived and asked him to follow. Watch, let's go. And you see the way he's influencing other people by giving that TED talk. You must observe what is happening around you, and then make good notes. You must have your wits around you. So if something is happening that is not good, you should be able to discern and choose the right thing from it. Okay, you must write down the thoughts that you have about certain things. That helps you to remember, and so you can discern properly. Okay, take what the teacher says and figure out how to apply it to your life. Take what the teacher says and figure out. You don't ask for direction. I'm saying this, so you want me to take you there. At times we teach, and then when we teach, and I tell students, if I tell you the problems of maternal health in Ghana, we discuss it. When I'm asking you in the examinations, I'll ask you for solutions. How do we solve them? Do you understand me? I won't let you list the problems for me just like that. But you should be able, especially if you are a postgraduate student, you should be able to offer some solution, practical solution to them. So you take what the teacher says and figure out how to apply it to your life. The mentor should expect the mentee to grow and must believe that the mentee is a winner, given enough time. So that should be your attitude. He will get there. He's a winner. She's a winner. Give him the right time and the opportunity. So all of us, you are all therefore a winner in your life's journey. So that is how your attitude to life and learning from other people who you perceive to be mentors should be. Do you understand me? So we are all winners in our life's journey. Thank you very much. If you have a question, you can ask. Any questions?
Thank you so much, madam. What I want to say, when we were talking, we talked of a mentor, you being humble. Yeah, sometimes too, when the mentee, sometimes when you are mentoring them, they rather, let's say, like, I don't know, they know more than you do. So
who is a mentor?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. You trying to, humble yourself for the person to, come out. Then the person in turn, like you don't know anything. The person would rather let you know that he or she knows better than you. So in this case, what do you do as a mentor?
Okay. As a mentor, that is why I said that if you are a mentor, you must mentor people who are willing to learn, who are willing to grow. Do you understand me? Such a person is not worth mentoring, because such a person is one way or the other. Do you understand me? If you are able to bring back the person to the right way, and the person will actually see that actually I was not doing the right thing. Do you understand me? Then it happens even with your own children. My daughter, if I give her this dress, she won't wear. Oh yes, and she will tell you that I don't like this one. Do you understand me? So it's difficult for me going to town and seeing something that I feel that it's nice. I would want to take her, but then if she chooses something that I feel is not good for me, I'll tell her, you are not buying this. I'm not allowing you to take this one. So you work within. So one way or the other, your children are your mentees. You are mentoring them. So if, for instance, this person is your child, you won't throw that child away. You will try as much as possible to bring at least yes. My child, my daughter, when she says something, Mommy, I'm 18 years. And I said, you are 18 years. You are living under my roof. You are 18, so what? Do you understand me? So one way or the other, you find a way. If you are the mentor, and you say, I said that relationship is regardless of age. And especially if you the mentor, you are older. They don't have any experience. Do you understand me? I told you about somebody that I felt that she was close to me. She will come, if she has a problem, especially in her marriage, then I'll tell her, don't do this, respect your husband, don't do this, don't do. Then this person will go back, organize yourself well, make sure your home is neat, this kind of thing, do this, your children. Do you understand me? Then you see that this person, because she is proud, will come back and tell you that, my husband's workplace, they say that I dress well, I do this, I do this. And like for me, if even that, I won't come and tell the person who told me that I should put, because one way or the other, she was exposing herself one day. I told her that, doesn't your husband say anything about this? And when she said that, I told her that before she saw me, we got married, this is the way I was dressing. So then I said, be careful. Now you are married, so don't do it. And then you come back and then like trying to tell me something else, meaning that you have ego, I do not have ego. Do you understand me? So you look at, and you see, that is why mentoring is good. Because at the end of the day, I said that it broadens your perspective. So you see people and the way they are brought up, the way they see things, you also know that, well, even if I didn't know that in this culture, this is the way they behave. Now I've found someone from that culture. I know how they behave. Do you understand me? It gives you emotional intelligence. So you can empathize and work within so you don't hurt the person. If the person is becoming the mentor and you the mentee, you don't need such a mentor. The positions have turned. Then the relationship is no more there. Do you understand me? And you have to find a way of working around it. If it will stop, it has to stop. Do you understand me? If you have to continue, then you must find some change so you can, with your experience, you can lead the person through, wherever the person wants to get to. Any other question? I hope I've helped. Yes.
My question is, should parents automatically become mentors to their children? If yes, then what happens, or what should be done, or what steps should a child who finds him or herself in a home where the mother is not, or the parents are not challenging this child?
Parents are not doing what?
Challenging. We mentioned in the...
They are not challenging.
Yeah, the qualities of a mentor. A mentor must challenge. A mentor should be a good listener. So what happens to a child in a home where the parents are not challenging him, they are not listening to him or her? What steps should the child take? Or what should be done to this child in a home like that?
In a home where the parent is reckless.
Yes.
They are not doing anything.
I'm asking this in regards to the first question.
For me, and a Christian, I think that every parent, you must know that, especially if you have children, not only your biological children, you are living with people in your home, you must make sure that what you don't want them to do, you don't do it. Do you understand what I... You see, I said mentoring is what? It has two aspects, okay? You are helping persons develop skills. You are helping persons develop character. Do you understand me? As for the skills, you teach them intentionally. You take them to school. Do you understand me? They have teachers and all that. But character, I'm telling you, if what is in the home is bad, Do you understand me? They go out there, they see even the good one. If you get a good child who is naturally intelligent and is discerning, do you understand me, likes what is good, the child will come back from school and tell you that, Mommy, what you are doing is not good. My teacher doesn't do that. Do you understand me? And I don't think any parent wants that. Rather, I remember my small boy, he will bring homework. When you start teaching him, at times he looks at the thing, and then will say that my teacher didn't do it like that. And I say, your teacher didn't do it like that. And your teacher has given it to you, so that you bring it to me to do. I wasn't in the classroom with you. You can't do it. That is why you want me to help you. I'm teaching you, and you are telling me your teacher doesn't do it like that. Go and do it the way your teacher do. That's it. Do you understand me? And then my daughter also went to school. She came some math thing. I taught her. She went back to school. She said, my teacher asked me, who helped you? Said, my mother. Said, your mother is good. Because I think the method that she was using, I simplified it. Do you understand me? So that's what, and they had the same answer. So these children, they are learning. You know, the first socialization institution is the family. Is the family. Any child who comes from a good family, when the child is coming out there, you can tell. So as Christians, what we do is, first and foremost, we have to build a family life, where the children will know that this is where I belong to before I go to school. Schools and the other socialization institutions are all secondary socialization institutions. Now, because of work, we are taking our children to school as early as 6 months, at times 4 months. 16 weeks, we are taking them to school. But when they come home, they still learn something. Do you understand me? Because no one sleeps with them in the school. Do you understand me? They don't go and sleep. They sleep, they siesta. When they close, they go home. So most of the time is spent in the house. If you are going to church and you don't take your children, you don't expect that when they are 17, 18 years, when you are going to church, they will follow you. You have teenage children. Saturday evening, you don't tell them to iron their dresses. By the time you realize, tomorrow, all I say is tomorrow we have a joint service. We are starting at 8:30. By the time you realize, all of them have ironed their, because if they don't, in the morning, the pressure will be so high. Do you understand me? And no one will tell you that I don't want to go to church. Even the online thing, they have their youth class. You will be there and they will call you, Mommy, we need your phone. We want to join the Bible class online. Do you understand me? I don't give them phones. Secondary school, they are not allowed. So I don't want them to get used to phones before. You don't have a phone. When you are in school, when they close, wait for me. I'll come for you. I don't communicate. If I want to do something, I'll call the teacher. So as a parent, you must try as much as possible to be a mentor. All parents must see themselves as mentors. And most of the time, someone will say that if you haven't encountered a difficult child before, you think that parenthood is easy. We pray. At times, they see everything good in the house. But when they go out there, peer pressure and things like that, so we pray. That's all. It doesn't mean that you haven't done your work well. Yeah. Any other question? Any other questions? No more questions? I thank you so much for coming. And I hope we'll apply whatever we've learned here to our lives. Yeah. Thank you very much.